Hey everybody, Chris here. It's been a while since I have gone live and talked to everybody. It's been a busy few months for my family and we've just had lots going on, but I'm super excited to be live with y'all today and hopefully have a few friends hop on, and if not, no big deal, catch me on the replay. The hot topic today, 3 reasons I think food has become a battle for parents. If you're on live, will you let me know and just drop me a live and say, hey Lisa, how are you, babe? And if you let me know where you're tuning in from, everybody, and if you're watching me on the replay, let me know later that you were on replay and where you're tuning in from. So yay, Lisa, for the live. Appreciate you, babe. Okay, so here I go. First question. Do y'all feel like the junk food topic, okay, birthday party food, whatever you want to call it, do y'all feel like this topic has become an endless battle for you as a parent? If you're a parent, throw me a 1. And if this is a battle for you, throw me battle or your favorite emoji, or throw me some hearts and let me know that I'm not alone in this battle, because I fight this battle every single day when I leave this house. Okay, in the house, I don't feel like it's as big of a battle, but I feel like as soon as I leave the house, it's a battle. Okay, so let me know you're feeling me. Hey, Catherine, how are you, honey? I'm seeing some 1s. I am not alone. This is a battle for you too. Okay, it seems to be across the board, this battle, and what I have to say today might be a little soapboxy, but it's the truth and it's raw, and I'm just going to be really honest with y'all. I've been a mom for almost 12 years. I have a 12-year-old and I have a 9-year-old. Okay, so my newbies that have not hopped on in my lives before, just know I'm a wife, I'm a mom, and I'm really passionate about helping others just be more informed when they go to make choices for their family and for the health and wellness of their family. That is my passion. That is what drives me. I see such a need in this country right now where people are hungry, literally, no pun intended, for this knowledge. And I am not a doctor. I'm not an expert, but I'm a reader and I'm a researcher. And I grew up in a European household where reading labels was the norm. It's what we did all the time. Mom didn't have recipe books. Mom cooked very simple and basic. And, you know, anything I would ask Mom to buy that was not her typical item that she would buy, you know, just that would not typically be on her grocery list, but I would see it at my friend's house, or I would see it on TV in a commercial or whatever. You know, she would just be like, no way, have you seen what's in that? You know, and I would just get so upset and so frustrated because, you know, kids they just want to fit in, right? And they see what everybody else is having, and they see what all these other kids are eating at school and at their friends' houses and at birthday parties and at the park. And they just want to fit in. They want to be like the others. So it's a battle. It's a constant battle. So here's, you know, honestly, y'all, in my opinion, there are 3 big reasons we as parents are fighting this battle in this country. Okay, our country is very sick, very sick right now, and part of it is the food industry. Okay, number 1, food industry. This has made our job as parents really hard. Why? It's marketing. The food industry is a business. Can I get an amen if you are with me? The food industry is a business. It is cheap ingredients at high profits, okay? The cheaper the ingredients, the lower the quality of the ingredients, the higher the profits to the food industry. But guess who pays for it? We do, in the long run. Our health, we are the people that in the long run are going to pay for it. So it's just my biggest soapbox probably is the food industry. That's my first and foremost. And they are very good at marketing. Anyone who's in business, right? Marketing, it's a huge part of your business. The food industry is very good at it. And who are they marketing to? Our kids, okay? And how are they doing it? They're making it really fun, really pretty and colorful, okay? To me, all I think about is when it all started for me. If you're with me and you can finish this sentence, and you'll be part of my generation, I'm sure. Silly rabbit. Finish that phrase for me. It's the commercial that came on over and over and over. Because of this commercial, silly rabbit, I had to have what was on the TV that day. Over and over. Nobody can finish silly rabbit. Y'all, silly rabbit, Trix are for kids. Trix cereal, Trix. It was a chemical poop storm. And I'm glad I just said poop and not something else. But that's exactly what it was, full of coloring and additives and words you cannot pronounce. So, but what was that? That was a campaign. It was colorful, and it was attracting the kids and telling. My comments are doing something weird. Somebody throw me a comment. There they go. There they go. They were pulling us in, and we were running out to our parents and just saying, I want Trix. This looks like it would be delicious. And then they would add the, fortified with vitamin A and C and D and, whatever, like fortified. Why? These vitamins occur naturally in the foods that grow from the earth. Why do you have to add that back to my food? Oh, because it's not food, right? Are y'all with me? Throw me some hearts if y'all are with me, or an amen, or I'm with you. And so I don't feel like I'm just talking to myself. Okay, so that's first and foremost, the food industry. So, what's happened is the good stuff has gotten more expensive. The organic, the buying, even in bulk, the whole grain section where you can buy things in bulk, it's still really expensive in comparison. So it's all backwards. And I feel like if we just bought more of that stuff, maybe the other stuff, maybe it'll even out and this stuff will get a little less expensive. But, I said it before and I'll say it again. Pay a little bit more now or pay later in healthcare cost. So you can up front put the good stuff in your body and not be sick later, or you can get the cheap stuff now and save a buck, but you're going to be paying a 10x that later in healthcare costs. You're going to be sick, and people are sick. Thanks, Damon. Totally with me, right? Hey, Erica. So that's my first and foremost. Okay, there's a documentary called Food Inc. It's been around for a while. Throw me a 5 if I can't remember what number we're on. 3. Throw me a 3 if you've seen Food Inc. And it definitely dissects this and shows you how the food industry in this country is a business, and it's just for profit at the expense of the people and our health. So if you haven't seen it, highly suggest you watch it. I'm sure it's on Netflix by now. There's lots of great documentaries out there, but Food Inc. was one that really spoke to me as an American citizen living here in this country and the problem that we have in this area. And adding to the battle as parents, American cheese. I'll give that as an example. It's called American cheese. Y'all know it's the most highly processed cheese there. I don't know that it's even cheese. If you read the label, it's like a cheese byproduct or something. People shouldn't ask, why are high quality foods so expensive? Instead, ponder, why are low quality foods so cheap? Exactly, Rob. And that is exactly where I'm going, because the cheaper the ingredients, the higher the profits, like I said. And what's happening is they're finding really, really cheap ways to make food taste really good, but it's just empty calories. And they're getting really good at that. Really, really good at that. And they're making the packaging beautiful and colorful, and kids want it. Okay, and adults too, y'all. Let's be real. We're attracted with our eyes first. So if it's not pretty, then we look the other way. People pay a lot of money for those center shelves in the grocery store that are eye level. That's also part of marketing and advertising. These food companies pay a lot of money to be on that middle shelf that you see, okay? So there's so much to it. And onward, I don't want to keep y'all for a half an hour. Number 2, family culture has changed dramatically in the last 10, 15 years, okay? We've gotten a lot busier as parents. I'm guilty of this. My kids play sports. They've got activities. There's homework. Busy, busy, busy. And I want my kids to be kids. I want them to be outside playing and so forth. And so our schedule will be even that much more off because they want to stay out and play longer, and kids need that. Kids need to be active. So as parents, we're battling for the time to be able to sit down as a family and have a meal. growing up, my dad, we didn't have cell phones back then. Again, grew up in an Italian immigrant household. My dad would call my mom. I am on the way. I'll be there in 30 minutes. Mom would hang up and be like, all right, troops. She would round us up, set the table. You get the water on. You get the bread going, yada, yada. He's walking in 30 minutes. And he would walk in the door. He would set down that briefcase, wash his hands, and sit down at the dinner table. And this is what we did 5-6 nights a week. 7 nights a week until I was old enough to have a little bit of a social life and maybe I wasn't home. But Mom and Dad still sat down 7 nights a week for dinner. And it would just be a very simple meal. Nothing glamorous, but it was dinner time. And that is when the healthiest eating habits are created, because there's that dialogue at the dinner table. You're talking about, life in general, obviously, and connecting, but we would talk about food, and Dad would just say, gosh, this is delicious. How did you make this? We'd all just be together and we'd talk about food in a really healthy way. To the point where I can remember my dad would just say, if the phone rang while we were at the dinner table, who on earth could be calling between 6 and 7 p.m.? Don't they know families are sitting at the table and having dinner? It was just, I feel like it's a lost art. And I would love to see that come back. And I try really, really hard. We're not eating at the dinner table 7 nights a week, but I do try really hard to do that at least a few nights a week. It is my goal. Okay, so the family culture has changed. And then the last is, before I hit the third one, because this is my biggest, if y'all are still with me, do y'all read labels? Throw me a heart if you read labels. Food labels. In the grocery store, at home, if you look at that label and you read the ingredients on your label, are you a label reader? Family dinner table time is half of what this country is missing. Yeah, for many, many reasons, right? So label readers, throw me some hearts or drop me a heart, or we read labels. Reason being. Okay, so with my kids, sorry, I have to step back a second here. We started reading labels just a few years ago because of this constant battle. Why can't I have this? Why can't I have that? And one battle that really stood out to me was the Lunchable battle. Mom, my youngest, can you pack me a Lunchable for school? Absolutely not. I can pack you some, really good ham or turkey and some cheese and some fruit and some crackers. I can make you a Lunchable. I felt like Eddie Murphy. Remember Eddie Murphy with the McDonald's? His friend had McDonald's and his mom was going to make a McDonald's. That's what I feel like, okay, all of the time. You want that? Mommy can make you that, no problem. I bought the fancy box, it was like, look, I can put the crackers here and the ham and the cheese and the fruit and here's your Lunchable. No, I want the Lunchable with the yellow paper and the box and the, the things, the toppings for the little pizzas and y'all, another chemical poop storm, And it was just constantly, no, babe, I'm not going to pack that for you for school. It's just not, it's going to make you feel icky and sluggish. You're not going to be able to focus. It's just not going to sustain your body and your mind for what it needs for the day. You're growing, absolutely not. Once in a blue moon, maybe, but even then I felt like, oh my gosh, I can totally just make this. Why am I buying this box? So I got tired of the battle, so I took her with me to the grocery store. We located those Lunchables, and I pulled one off the shelf, and I handed it to her, and I asked her to read it to me. She had just started reading, and she couldn't read it. She couldn't pronounce the ingredients. And she's like, well, what's this? And what's this? I can't, Mom, read that. I can't pronounce it. I was like, babe, okay. You should be able to pronounce the ingredients on the label. You should be able to read that. And the ingredient list, of course, is this long. And she says, well, what does that mean? And I said, everything you see right there, honey, those are chemicals. Not good chemicals. These are really bad chemicals. And these make us sick. We don't use the word fat. We don't use the word overweight. We don't even talk about calories. I just really push the idea that these ingredients are making people very, very sick. And the only way to stop that is to not buy it and not put it in our bodies until they change it. So is like I saw a little light bulb, and she just looked at me with those little eyes and just was like, okay, so Mom, you don't buy this because you love us and this makes us sick and you don't want us to be sick. And ever since that day, she has never asked me for a Lunchable again. Just putting it in those simple terms, showing her that label, marching through that grocery store, and it turned into a game. I mean, she was just like, well, what's in this one? What's in that one? You know, and it just opened her eyes. And realistically speaking, y'all, 80-20, it's not like she will never have something like that again in her life. I know that. But if I can educate her and make it part of our daily dialogue, she's informed. And before you know it, you know, they just start making better choices on their own, and we don't have to battle them constantly because they get it and they see it and they understand what it does to their bodies. And I just think that is probably the biggest, instead of just the constant no, it's bad for you, or no, it'll make you gain weight, or no, it'll make you feel bad. It's look what's in it. This is what it does to your body. People are getting sicker and sicker, and let's not put that in our body if we don't have to. So that has just what has worked for me personally. It is a work in progress. We work on this every single day. They're kids, you know, and even as adults, we're tempted at times, and things look delicious and they smell delicious, but at least we're informed. So anyhow, I appreciate y'all listening to me stepping on this soapbox. And if this is something that is valuable to you and is meaningful to you, and you know, have a friend who you would love to share this with, please feel free to share it. Feel free to private message me if you have any comments or questions, or throw them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. And you know, like I said, I'm no expert, but I'm trying my best to make the best decisions I can for my family. And I hope that they learn, and I hope that they will pass that on and change the future of this country's health. And I will leave it with a quote that a friend of mine said to me once years ago. She said, we don't live in a healthcare system, we live in a sick care system. And we need to reverse that, and we need to be healthy, and it starts with prevention, it starts with education, so that in the future we're not paying so much in healthcare. So, rant over, and I appreciate y'all's time, and happy Thursday. Hope everyone has a fabulous weekend, and we will talk very soon. I'll be back very, very soon, so be sure and set your notifications because I've got lots to say. So, see you soon. Bye, y'all.